welcome back to Auto Rush Pro. Today, we take you on an unforgettable journey. A journey that started with a strange-looking machine on three wheels and brought us to the ultra-modern electric cars, self-driving vehicles, and high-performance luxury machines of today. We're diving deep into the history of cars from the very first invention that seemed like a crazy idea to the billion-dollar industry it has become today. Buckle up, because this is the full story of how one man's invention changed the world forever. Once upon a time, there were no engines. No horns, no wheels turning with speed. Humanity traveled on foot, by horse, or on wooden carts pulled by animals. There was no sound of tires on roads, no honking in traffic. But in the mid-1700s, that silence began to change. The seeds of revolution were planted in Europe, where inventors were experimenting with steam-powered machines. However, it wasn't until 1885 that something truly groundbreaking happened. In Germany, an engineer named Karl Benz created a machine called the Benz patent Motorwagen. It looked more like a tricycle than a car, three wheels, a basic seat, and a small gasoline engine that could barely move faster than walking speed. People laughed at it. Some called it dangerous. Others called it a toy, but Karl Benz believed in his vision. His wife, Bertha Benz, played a historic role too. In a daring move, she took the Motorwagen on the world's first long-distance drive, without telling her husband, just to prove it could be done. That day, she covered over 100 kilometers, refueling the car with Ligrouin bought from a pharmacy. Her journey not only proved the car's potential, but sparked public interest. What seemed like an odd experiment became the foundation of a new era. While Karl Benz was making history, other inventors across Europe were building their own versions of self-propelled vehicles. In the same era, Gottlieb Daimler and Wilhelm Maybach, also in Germany, were developing a four-wheeled gasoline car with a faster engine. Across the English Channel in France, inventors like Armand Peugeot and Emile Levasseur were getting inspired. In the UK, the Red Flag Act required cars to be preceded by a man walking with a red flag. Cars were seen as threats machines too, dangerous to be let loose, but by the early 1900s, those odd machines were slowly becoming part of urban life. Still, they were expensive and only for the wealthy. Only a few hundred were made every year, and they were custom-built. For most people, a car was as distant a dream as owning a spaceship is today. Then, everything changed. In 1908, an American innovator named Henry Ford did something nobody had done before. He didn't just build a car, he built a way to make cars. Fast, cheap, and consistent. He launched the Ford Model T, a car designed for the average person, not just the elite. More importantly, in 1913, he introduced the assembly line in his factories. Instead of having craftsmen build cars piece by piece, Ford created a system where each worker had a specific task. Cars were built in hours, not days. Prices dropped, production soared, and the automobile entered the hands of everyday people. From a luxury, the car became a necessity. By the 1920s, cars had become an unstoppable force. Roads were being built, gas stations appeared, traffic laws were written, and with this growth, competition emerged. In the United States, brands like Chevrolet, Dodge, and Buick were rising. In Europe, Fiat was booming. In Italy, Renault and Citroën in France. And Rolls-Royce in the UK began creating cars that weren't just vehicles, but moving palaces. With World War II came military vehicles, jeeps, trucks, and transport vehicles, built for war. These wartime innovations, especially the rugged and versatile Jeep, laid the foundation for the future SUV. After the war, the economy in the West exploded, and so did the car industry. The 1950s and 60s saw style and design take center stage. Tail fins, chrome grills, bright colors, and wide-body cars filled the roads of America. The car was no longer just a utility, it was personality, pride, and power. In Germany, companies like Mercedes-Benz and BMW became symbols of precision and engineering excellence. In Italy, Ferrari, Maserati, and Lamborghini brought passion and speed to life. In Britain, Aston Martin added elegance. And in the United States, muscle cars roared into culture. The Ford Mustang, Dodge Charger, Chevrolet Camaro, these were not just cars, They were dreams with engines. They were rebellion on wheels. They became movie stars and cultural icons. While the West was chasing speed and style, Japan was building something else: reliability. In the 1970s, an oil crisis shocked the world. Fuel prices went through the roof and people started to rethink their priorities. Suddenly, big V8 engines were a problem, not a prize. Enter Honda, Toyota, and Nissan, offering compact, fuel-efficient, affordable cars that just didn't break down. Cars like the Toyota Corolla, Honda Civic, and Datsun 510 conquered markets. Slowly, Japanese automakers started dominating not just Asia, but America and Europe too. By the 1980s and 90s, safety and technology became the new battleground. Features like airbags, anti-lock brakes, and crumple zones were introduced. Cars started becoming more than mechanical machines. They were now intelligent companions. GPS navigation entered, CD players became standard, climate control became common. In parallel, the idea of hybrid technology was born. Toyota introduced the Prius in the late 1990s, the world's first mass-produced hybrid car. It ran on both gasoline and electricity, a hint at the future, but that future didn't truly arrive until the early 2000s, when a man named Elon Musk took over a small electric vehicle startup called Tesla. While electric cars had existed for over a century, they were slow, expensive, and had short ranges. Tesla flipped the game. The Tesla Roadster showed that electric cars could be fast. The Model S proved they could be luxurious and powerful. And the Model 3 showed they could be affordable, stylish, and tech-loaded. Suddenly, every major company scrambled to join the electric race. BMW launched the i-Series, Mercedes created the EQ line, Audi brought out e-tron, Chinese companies like BYD and NIO jumped in, and American startups like Rivian and Lucid began pushing the limits of electric performance. Meanwhile, self-driving technology emerged from the labs. Companies like Waymo, Tesla, and even Apple started building autonomous systems. Cars now had cameras, radar, LiDAR, and artificial intelligence to guide them without a driver. We were no longer imagining the future. We were driving in it. Think about this. When Karl Benz built the first car, there was only one model. Just one. Today, there are thousands of models. Cars for families, cars for sports, cars for luxury, cars for mountains, cars that can float, even cars that can fly. Some cars are tiny enough to fit in a closet, while others are larger than living rooms. Some run on gas, others on electricity, hydrogen, solar energy, and even hybrid fuel. From basic seats and a crank-start engine, we now have massaging seats, touchscreens, face recognition, automatic braking, and cars that park themselves. In the camper world, motorhomes evolved from simple converted vans to entire luxury apartments. On wheels, in the past, a camper van meant a small bed and maybe a camping stove. Today, brands like Winnebago, Airstream, and Heimer produce smart, solar-powered motorhomes with full kitchens, bathrooms, and voice-activated controls. The same is true for pickup trucks. Once built only for farmers and utility workers, pickups like the Ford F-150, Toyota Tundra, and Ram 1500 have become family vehicles, luxury machines, and high-tech workhorses. And now we have electric pickups like the Rivian R1T and the upcoming Tesla Cybertruck that promise to redefine what trucks can do. As of today, the automobile is no longer just a machine. It is a lifestyle, a social status, a technological marvel, a personal assistant, a workhorse, a home, a travel buddy, and sometimes even a best friend. The journey of cars mirrors the journey of humanity itself, from struggle to progress, from invention to innovation, from simple beginnings to extraordinary futures. The car was once just a dream, a crazy dream of a man in Germany who believed he could put a machine on wheels. Today, that dream drives the world forward. From villages to cities, from deserts to highways, from cold mountains to sunlit beaches, cars are everywhere. They've taken us closer to our families, brought us adventures, saved lives, and even become part of our identity, and yet, we're not done. The future holds flying cars, hyperloops, fully autonomous pods, and maybe even interplanetary vehicles. But before we go too far ahead, let's pause and respect the journey that brought us here. Because it all began with one strange machine, on 3 wheels, and a dream. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the incredible history of cars, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Auto Rush Pro. Comment below and tell us, what was your first car? Or what dream car do you hope to own one day? Your voice matters here, and we want to hear it. We'll be back with another fascinating automotive story, but until then, drive safe, stay curious, and keep the engine of wonder alive.